Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jag, and in today's class we're going to continue with our Math 11 content, and we're going to continue with the quadratics unit. So let's get started. Alright, so here we are, and what we're going to do again is I'm going to read out the question. And what we're doing here for the quadratics unit is we're going to find the equation of a quadratic function that has the given x-intercepts and it contains the given point, okay? So here are the x-intercepts. So I have -3, okay? And 5. And this is the point that is given, okay? The point is 4 and -3. Okay, so what this means is this point is actually located on this quadratic. So let's plug this into, I'm going to write out the formula, the generic form of the factored form of the quadratic. So x minus r and x minus s, okay? When you plug in your value, okay, for the x-intercepts, make sure you are changing the sign. So in this case, my x-intercept is x equals -3. It's going to be x plus 3. The second point is x equals 5. So it's going to be x minus 5. Does everyone see that? Okay. Now, I'm going to take my point. I'm going to write it out here one more time. My point is 4 and -3, okay? So the x-coordinate is going to be 4. The y-coordinate is -3. I'm going to take this point and plug it into the x and y within my equation. So -3 is the y. X is 4, so I'm going to do 4 plus 3 and 4 minus 5. Okay, is everyone with me so far? So what we're going to do now, -3 equals a. And I always do the brackets separately here, okay? So this is 7, 4 plus 3, and 4 minus 5 is -1. Okay? So I have -3 equals a. 7 times -1, -7. Okay, because I'm looking for the value of a here, I'm going to divide it by -7. On both sides, so this cancels out. Okay, the two negative values also cancel out here. So my value for a is 3/7. Okay, does everyone see that? And I'm going to state my equation one more time. So therefore, y equals 3/7 with your x-intercepts. Okay, so x plus 3 and x minus 5. Okay. And this is basically my final answer. And like you know, I like to box my final answer just so the teacher can see it, okay, at the very end. So remember, 1 mark is actually always given for the final equation. And that's what the teacher is looking for at the end. Okay, so let's try one more example here. Okay, so this time, the x-intercepts are -4 and 7. And I'm given my point, okay, and the point is -3 and -12, okay? So let's try that, okay? I'm going to plug it into my equation one more time. Okay, I always write out the generic equation, okay? And notice that the generic equation, both of the values are negative. It's x minus r and x minus s, okay? In the second step, I want to just plug in my x values for the intercepts. Make sure you change the sign. So x equals -4, x plus 4. And right here, it's x equals 7. So it's going to be x minus 7. All right, we're going to take our point, which is -3 and -12. Okay. And I always, again, just write x and y on top. Okay. That way, when I plug it into my equation, I don't mix the two around. So the y is -12. Okay, whereas the x is -3. Oh, so let's just plug it in here. Okay, I'll put -3 plus 4. Okay, and in the second bracket, it's going to be -3 minus 7. Okay. So I want to solve for the value of a here. Okay, so I'm doing -3 plus 4, which is +1. And in the second bracket, -3 minus 7, -10. Okay, so again, make sure you are watching, okay, the signs here as well. Okay, negative 12 equals a times negative 10. Okay, and what I want to do here is just divide it by negative 10 on both sides. Okay, when you do that, I notice the negative 10 is canceling out in this case, okay? And here as well, I have the value for a, which is 12 over 10. And what we're going to do is just divide it by 2 on the top and the bottom. Okay, and the value for a is going to be 6 over 5. Okay, does everyone see that? And so therefore, my equation is going to be 6 over 5, and it's x plus 4 and x minus 7, okay, in separate brackets like this, okay? And this is my final answer, okay? Even if the value of a is like a fraction like this and it's an improper fraction, that's okay as well, okay? I'm just going to leave it the same. Okay, what I need to remember is that I just need to reduce the value of a, okay, as a fraction. So make sure you just simplify it before you write out your final equation. Okay, are there any questions there? Good, that looks good. So let's try one last example. Okay, and what we're going to do is this time, we're going to use a fraction here. Okay, so this time the zeros are given as well. So I have 0 and negative 2 over 3. And I'm given my point here. Okay, the point is negative 1 and 5. Okay, so what I want to do is again plug it into my equation. So x minus r, x minus s. And here you can just change the sign, okay? This is just going to be x minus 0. X, this is negative 2 over 3, so x plus 2 over 3. Okay, if you do want to just reduce this, I would do that here. So a, x, okay, because this is just x minus 0, x plus 2 over 3. So just like this, okay? I can see it looks slightly different, okay, but that's okay. You can see that we're just following the same rules as we were before. So I'm going to take my points for x and y, and we can plug it into this formula, okay, or the equation. So the y is 5 here, and the x is negative 1. Like this. Okay, so now some students are tempted to basically take their calculator and just use the decimal here. Most teachers do not like that, okay? So we're going to do a common denominator. And I'm just going to times this by 3, okay, on the top and the bottom. Okay, so on the top it's actually negative 3 plus 2. Negative 1 over 3, okay? And that was just this bracket right here, okay? So what we're going to do is a, these two negatives just cancel out, and I'm left with 1 over 3, okay? I'm going to divide it by 1 over 3 on both sides, okay? And I'm just going to show you how I'm doing that. So 5 divided by 1 over 3. And this is 5 over 1. Okay, so just like when you're dividing the fractions, you change it to multiplication. And I'm flipping over the second fraction. So instead of 1 over 3, it's going to be 3 over 1. Okay, everyone see that? So this is basically 5 times 3. So a is equal to 15. Okay, so the reason I'm showing all the steps here is so you know where we're getting the actual value from for a. Okay, so again, remember the value for a doesn't have to be a whole number, okay, like we're getting in this case. It can also just be a fraction as well, okay? So in this case, I'm going to write out my value and my equation at the end. So y equals 15. Okay, I could put x. So let's write out the whole thing first. X minus 0, x plus 2 over 3, like this, okay? So I don't need to keep x minus 0 here. So we're just going to put 15x and then x plus 2 over 3. So just like this, okay? I just took my a value here and I just plugged it in for the a in the actual equation. Okay, and I did simplify it just a little bit, okay? And we're just going to box our final answer. And again, make sure you do simplify, okay, your final answers. Teachers don't like seeing like zeros, or even if the coefficient for a certain variable is 1, you don't need to write the 1 in front of the variable there, okay? Okay, so let's just go through the steps together here. Okay, I have the generic form, okay, of the factored equation for quadratics. I'm taking my values for the x-intercepts and I'm plugging it into the equation. Then there's a point that is given that is on the parabola. And I'm taking the x and y point of the parabola. I'm plugging it into my equation for x and y. Okay? And when you do this, I'm always solving for the value of a. Okay? And remember again, this is a parabola. You notice that the a value is greater than 1. So I know that my parabola is basically stretched, okay? And it is stretched vertically, okay? After you find the value for a, I'm just going to take that value for a and plug it back into this original equation here, and then just simplify it at the end, all right? Okay, so that looks good. So if there are no questions, that does bring this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks. Bye.